As Pittsburgh prepares to welcome the football world for the NFL draft in April, Allegheny County and the city of Pittsburgh have been making measurable progress in addressing homelessness and improving public safety. As construction was getting underway from Market Square to Arts Landing in June of last year, Allegheny County Executive Sarah Innamorato launched 500 in 500, an ambitious initiative to get people off the streets and into stable housing.
We can't do this alone, but we know we can do incredible things together.
The goal was 500 people in 500 days. To date, the county's assisted more than 600 individuals, and homeless encampments are down more than 90%. Aaron Dalton is director of the County Department of Human Services. Aaron, welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, and congratulations on some real progress downtown.
Thank you. It's been exciting. When we look back a couple of years ago, things were really challenging for human services. Coming out of the pandemic, there were lots of challenges. We were worried about kids and how they were doing. We were worried about our older adults having been isolated for so many years. But I think, top of our list was really worrying about our public spaces and the issue of homelessness.
Well, and it was a visible challenge for the city a few years ago, especially at some of the major gateways into downtown, some of the exit ramps.
Yeah, no, I think, we were just overwhelmed by the problem. I think coming out of COVID, our shelters were full and people were living outside, as everyone could see, right? It was no surprise to anyone. And over the past couple of years with initiatives like 500 and 500, we've just been able to tackle that kind of one piece at a time.
So break it down step by step. What did you do to really try to improve the situation?
Yeah, I think we were facing two big problems at one time, right? Too many people were living on the street. We don't want anyone living on the street, of course, but this was a very visible problem. But maybe a little lesser known is that we had people literally living in our shelters. So shelters are supposed to be a short-term crisis situation where people stay for a couple of days and we're able to move them on. They're able to kind of self-resolve. But with the prices where they were, particularly at the low end of the rental market, landlords had choices and they were not going to rent to our population. And so people were really stuck in shelter, literally living there. And so if you don't have flow out of that shelter system, you're not able to bring people in from the street. You've got a big problem. And so I think, the choice was, do we keep building shelters, build more and more shelters for our community? And you probably know this, but nobody wants shelter, right? People staying in shelter don't want to be in shelter. They want housing. Business, community members, they see the challenges with a large shelter where we don't have challenges with people living in community. And so I think the county executive did, the sort of brave, bold thing, which is we're going to invest in housing. And so that's the 500 and 500 initiative. And we celebrated that this week, exceeding our goal, changing kind of the landscape of affordable housing for the homeless population and housing over 622 people.
How did you find places for them to live?
Yeah, it's mostly not new housing.
Okay.
Not surprising. We didn't put up whole new buildings in 500 days. It's just better use of existing housing resources. It's our property managers, developers saying, yeah, we'll dedicate 10% of our holdings to this population, give DHS a chance to match people to that housing. And if we can match them, great. And if not, they could go on to rent to somebody else. It's using our economic development partners and those resources differently, making sure when there's public dollars going into projects that there is a commitment to rent to this population once those projects are built.
What kind of a difference has it made?
I think you can see what it's meant on the street. We've been able to spend some time with people who have been housed, and it's life-changing for them. People can go up to our 500 and 500 website and hear voice narratives of people's experiences being housed. It's really heartwarming, and it's not what people think about homelessness. These are our neighbors. These are our grandparents. These are people who have worked their whole lives who were just priced out of the rental market, honestly. And so I think it means that those folks are getting housed, and it also means that there aren't nearly as many people staying on the street. Of course, we still have people outside, but we now have systems to really work with those folks and bring them in more quickly. And we don't have the large scale encampments that we had this time last year.
What's next? What's left to do?
Yeah, I think we have to just keep at it. These problems do change over time too. So Jeremy Waldrop from Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership convenes and has been convening a weekly call of all of us for a couple of years now. And so just, making sure that if there's a street corner that needs to be cleaned up downtown, that we do it. Making sure if there's somebody who's in crisis downtown, that we reach out and provide services quickly. Just a real operational focus on what's happening so that we can respond quickly.
Well, congratulations. It definitely has made a difference. I see it every day.
Thank you.
To improve public safety, the city of Pittsburgh hired more than 50 new police officers and expanded its public safety presence with a new substation on Wood Street. The Steelers and the Pirates each contributed $1 million to strengthen the co-responder mental health teams. And the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership power washed more than 3 million square feet of sidewalks and alleyways. Next up, get out your calendar. From light up night to first night, the downtown holiday season is almost upon us. Please stay with us.